By now, we've all seen this photo of a long figure, standing defiant among a sea of rolling tanks. This happened exactly 35 years ago in Beijing, China. We are, of course, talking about the iconic image of the Tiananmen Square protest, a moment recorded in history as a symbol of the fight for freedom against overwhelming odds. But what led to this dramatic confrontation? And why are the events of that fateful day still a point of contention within 21st century China? The number 8964, a symbol of the defiance from the time of the protest and the immediate aftermath, is still used today by those who wish to criticize the establishment. But can the use of the simple number actually get you behind the bar in China? This is the story of 1989 Tiananmen Square protest, 35 years on, and why they are as relevant today as they were then. Firstly, why is Tiananmen Square such a significant place? And why did the protest take place over there? Even before 1989, Tiananmen Square, a vast plaza in the heart of Beijing, had long been a focal point for political gatherings and demonstrations. Its symbolic significance dates back to the founding of the People's Republic of China in 1949. When Chairman Mao Zedong proclaimed the new nation from the square's monument to the people's heroes. Throughout the years, it has witnessed countless protests, becoming a potent symbol of dissent and yearning for change. But in 1989, the level of disorder rose to a level the country hadn't seen in 40 years. In April of 1989, the passing of Hu Yaobang, a reformist leader within the Chinese Communist Party, ignited a wave of student-led demonstrations. Hu, known for greater economic and political openness, had been ousted from his position in 1987. His death was seen as a symbolic loss for those who advocate for a more liberal China. Students began to gather in Tiananmen Square, initially mourning Hu, but their grief soon transformed into something much more political. What began as a student mourning past of Hu Yaobang quickly turned into a powerful movement demanding change. Students, initially focused on honoring the reformist leader, gradually expanded their demands to encompass broader societal aspirations. They called for an end to one-party rule and the establishment of a more democratic system with greater participation from the people, a crackdown on rampant corruption within the government and the party leadership, and a shift towards a more open and market-oriented economy, addressing the growing economic inequalities plaguing the nation. A simmering discontent had been brewing in China long before the Tiananmen protests. Due to the growing unrest in China at the time, those demands resonated with a large segment of the population. Students were soon joined by intellectuals, workers, and ordinary citizens who saw the protests as an opportunity to push for a more equitable society. The movement gained momentum as the days turned into weeks, with Tiananmen Square becoming a vibrant hub of protest and debate. Workers, disillusioned with stagnant wages and limited labor rights, joined the demonstrations. Intellectuals, yearning for greater freedom of expression and academic inquiry, lent their voice to the cause. Ordinary citizens, tired of the limitations placed on their lives, expressed their solidarity with the movement. This diverse collection of individuals created a powerful wave of dissent. Workers organized strikes and demonstrations in support of the students, while intellectuals published articles and pamphlets advocating for reforms. The ordinary citizens, motivated by a desire for a better future, provided logistical support and participated in a peaceful rally. The sheer scale and diversity of the movement presented a significant challenge to the Chinese government. They were growing more and more concerned, but did not immediately react. News of the protests spread across the globe. International media outlets provided extensive coverage, capturing the growing crowds, student hunger strikes, and the passionate demands for change. The whole world watched with growing concern as the movement unfolded, with governments and human rights organizations issuing statements urging the Chinese government to engage in dialogue with the protesters. The international spotlight added immense pressure to the Chinese leadership. The world was watching, and the potential for violent crackdown would have severe consequences for Chinese international standing. This global attention worsened the significance of the protest and ensured that events in Tiananmen Square would be recorded into history. The protest continued for weeks, and the Chinese government grew increasingly frustrated. They viewed the movement as a direct challenge to their authority and a threat to the stability of the communist regime. On May 20th, martial law was declared in Beijing, authorizing the military to use force to repel the demonstrations. This move sent a strong message, indicating the potential for a full crackdown. Troops' movements became more direct, surrounding the square with heavily armed soldiers. Tanks, armed vehicles rolled into city, the complete opposite of the peaceful nature of the protests. The tensions escalated to a breaking point, with both sides bracing for the inevitable confrontation. On the night of June 3rd, the unthinkable happened. Under the cover of darkness, the military began a brutal crackdown. Armed with assault rifles and armored vehicles, they advanced towards Tiananmen Square, firing indiscriminately into the crowd. Students, workers, and citizens caught in the chaos were ruthlessly targeted. The iconic image of the tank man standing defiant against a column of tanks captured the sheer honor of the night. However, this single act of defiance pales into comparison to the widespread violence that unfolded. Protesters were crushed under the weight of tanks, shot at point-blank range, and ran over by a tank. The once vibrant square became a scene of carnage, littered with the body of the fallen. Tiananmen Square marked a turning point in Chinese history, highlighting the stark contrast between the government's authoritarian rule and aspirations of its citizens for democracy and human rights. The brutal crackdown severely damaged China's international image, leading to widespread condemnation and sanctions from the international community. This event also served as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of state-sanctioned violence against peaceful protests. The Tiananmen Square massacre continued to resonate globally, serving as a cautionary tale against the suppression of dissent and a symbol of the enduring fight for freedom. While the Chinese government may attempt to erase the memory of this event, the significance of 8964 as a symbol of resistance and a call for democratic reform continues to inspire individuals both within and beyond China's borders. And China's establishment are worried of this, causing them to suppress reference to the number or to the events of 1989 in several ways. Using the word 8964 can legitimately get you arrested still in China in 2024, over 30 years since the protest and the brutal crackdown by the Chinese military. While the exact number of arrests related to 8964 remains closely guarded secret within China, the government's extensive censorship paints a clear picture of the potential consequences. Online searches for the number, specifically names of activists, or any mentions of Tiananmen Square are heavily filtered. Social media platforms actively monitor discussions, or accounts deemed sensitive are swiftly deleted. Individuals who dare to openly discuss or commemorate the event risk facing a range of repercussions, including detention, interrogation, house arrest, imprisonment, and even loss of employment or educational opportunities. Cases like artist Ai Weiwei's secret arrest in 2011 for using 8964 in a tweet serve as a reminder of the potential costs associated with defying the state's narrative. The lack of transparency from authorities and the fear of repercussions further discouraged individuals from reporting their experience, making it nearly impossible to obtain accurate data on the scale of such crackdowns. However, the very existence of these measures leave no doubt that the Chinese government actively punishes those who attempt to challenge the official silence surrounding the Tiananmen Square massacre. Despite the Chinese government's relentless effort to erase the memory of Tiananmen Square, the significance of 8964 endures. It serves as a powerful symbol of resistance, a defiant whisper in the face of authoritarian control. Even mentioning this number can lead you to trouble within China, a stark reminder of the consequences associated with challenging the official narrative. While the exact number of individuals punished for using 8964 remains unknown, the Chinese government's extensive censorship paints a chilling picture. The lack of transparency and the fear of repercussions effectively silence many voices, making it nearly impossible to quantify the full extent of the crackdown. However, the very existence of these measures leaves no doubt. The Chinese government actively suppresses any attempt to commemorate the Tiananmen Square massacre and fight for democracy it represents. The events of 1989 were brutally crushed. The memory of those who fought for change continues to inspire individuals both within and beyond China's borders. The struggle for human rights and freedom persists, and 8964 remains a potent symbol of that enduring fight.
Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Country road, take me home to the place of your love.